There's a thin line between genius and clown. Not crazy.
Right here. Clown genius.
Respect. I like that.
Double G.
I like that. Hey, if we're talking clowns right now for this time period, it has to be Shannon Sharpe, no?
I'm going to give Shannon some grace, G.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
You giving Shannon Sharpe grace, but First Lady Michelle Obama can't get no grace for having a podcast, my nigga?
No. Well,
Okay, go.
I walked into that one.
Why not? You asking?
No, just go. Just go with Shannon Sharpe first. We'll get to that
The
later.
only reason I'm giving him grace is he's not, well, let me not
55
say
with a 19-year-old.
Let me not
I
say-
got grace for that.
Wait a minute, that ain't illegal.
I didn't say it was illegal.
Not illegal.
It ain't illegal.
I never said it was illegal.
But here, it's gonna be in alignment with all the shit
Come on.
It could get to 7 minutes. I already cursed.
Come on.
Oh well, this is the money. But look, no, listen, man. Seriously, it's in alignment with what I always say. Americans in general are in a perpetual state of childhood. We are, bro. We're not learning. We're not growing. We're not developing.
Okay.
So if think about this, man. What Shannon represents is the dude, the regular street dude, right? Or the regular get money dude. What do you do with the money? You leverage the money to get the things you want. That's what it is, right?
Okay.
So we're not trying to grow spiritually. We ain't trying to grow in a relationship. So when you get the money, you go buy the things you want. So when you get the money, you go get the woman you want. Now, I don't agree with the woman he wants.
That's the problem, bro.
But I do agree it's a problem, but it's a national problem.
No, but that's the problem too. So, all right, so I agree with you on the national problem, right? I agree with you on what the national problem is.
Mm-hmm.
So up until that point, I'm with you. But I'm not gonna give him a pass on what he wants. What you want matters. So yeah, once you get the bag, you can go get what you want. Cool. But what you want is a part of the conversation. And him wanting, as a 53-year-old man when he met her, 54-year-old man when he met her, she 19 when he met her, that's a problem, bro. And what that speaks to, even more than the national problem of this idea of fuck them, get some money, get the bag, get what you want, whatever. He has a severe case of late bloomer syndrome. Severe case of late bloomer syndrome.
Severe cases. He got a severe case of dark-skinned nigga growing up in rural Georgia.
He's not the only one with that.
I don't disagree, but that's part of the severe. We gotta be real. That's part of the severe case.
That's why his late bloomer syndrome.
That's why he got slave playing in sex acts.
That's why his late bloomer syndrome
wanna be the big
is
buck.
severe, right? His problem is late bloomer syndrome. A lot of people have it. Niggas that just get cool when they 40. You wasn't cool when you was 18.
But time out.
Then women wasn't fucking with you.
I know
when you was 25, you wasn't cool. 30, 35, you got cool 40, 50 years old for the first time in his life.
Don't disagree with you.
His is severe because of all the shit you about to talk about.
Problem is though, the 40 cool is the same as the 18 cool.
That's the problem.
I agree.
Especially when you're 55.
I don't disagree.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Right? But we ain't duking on Tracy Ellis Ross.
I'm not giving him no grace for that, G.
Wait though, listen, we not duking on Tracy Ellis Ross. Now she didn't give a number.
Right, she was talking about me.
Well, whatever. But in her philosophy, it ain't even her, right? There's a whole trend online right now with older women saying the YN's this and that, the YN's this and that. One, I don't even agree with her. If you ain't 18, you shouldn't be using the language of YN. That's one.
Agree.
Right? But there's a whole trend around that. There's no conversation around that. Right? And I'm not doing a gender war shit. I'm saying that in general, Americans are in a Peter Pan syndrome.
Sure.
It's a perpetual state of youth.
Sure.
And then when you get these high level cases of it, we get this selective ass outrage. No, this is the goddamn culture. We just had a conversation about the Trump. How old is Trump? 9,000? How old is that Russian woman that's in the White House?
I don't know.
9,000. 30.
Right.
Yeah, she's 30. They age different.
But whatever.
Looks,
she might
8,000.
Sure.
They age different.
Sure.
But it's still the same rules.
Here's my thing, G. I'm not giving none of that shit a pass. You know me. Everybody I hang with is older than me. I'm the youngest person I know.
You don't give it a pass because you've been abused.
True.
And you like it.
No, I don't give it a pass.
What have I walked into, bro?
He's been getting sexually abused since he was like 16.
He's making fun of me because I'm generally attracted to older women.
Like older.
Hey, too. Stop being disrespectful. I done told your black ass. Okay.
I couldn't help myself. I quit. I won't do it no more.
Here's the thing, though. What I'm saying is I'm always around older men. If any of them was like, hey, This is my 19-year-old. She just graduated from Whitney Young.
That's clown shit.
Knock it the fuck off.
I don't disagree to this clown shit.
Why are we even here with you?
What are we doing?
Right, what are you
not doing that with
But
you,
also,
G.
let's keep it relative and context. We're not in the throes of celebrity world and culture, right? So when you start think about that. That's just Whitney Young.
No, probably.
That's even worse.
I do Whitney Young because that's my high school.
So my
It could be
2
whatever.
cents in coming in on the side of it, Pop. This man has been a successful athlete in many of things for a long time. Like to the what you say, late bloomer syndrome.
Yeah.
It's possibly. So now he probably seeing dumb money or whatever and stuff like this. That still don't mean baby. That's all I'm saying. That still don't mean
I know
baby.
we're going back and forth. I want y'all to know I'm with y'all.
Okay,
all
okay.
I'm saying is I want us to recognize the nuance in the conversation.
Of what's going on.
That's all.
Gotcha.
Right? I think it's appalling, right?
Gotcha.
What do you sit down and talk to a 19-year-old about as a 55-year-old man? Well, I mean, what could you talk about?
Nothing. But
unless you got a perpetual state of Peter Pan syndrome.
But that's my point, too. I've sat here with you on this show for many a year, and I've defended things because they are the state of the culture that you like, no, we have to elevate the mindset. We cannot decrease the standard because that's what motherfuckers at. In this instance, I feel like you decreasing the standard just to get him some grace, and fuck that nigga.
So what I said was I'm gonna shoot him some.
Not in
fair.
totality. I'm not tripping off him, but he's bugging.
Hear what I said. I agree with y'all. I do agree with y'all. I'm on y'all's side. All I'm saying is there's nuance in the conversation, right? It's very difficult to point out this one person when this is the culture.
You're saying it's a bigger thing.
Right? So I'm not saying it's not a flawed issue, but it ain't his issue. It's the culture's issue.
And all I'm saying
That's
is
the point of your question of why give him grace. I get what you. I hear it. I heard you.
That's all I'm saying.
And all I'm saying is you don't meet conversations about.
Gee, Puffy dated his son's girlfriend.
Let me start the show. Let me start the show. Because he dated his son's girlfriend and Jada dated her son's boyfriend. Or friend, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean?
Whatever.
I'm cool.
And we keep pointing out the
all I'm
instances
saying
like
is,
this ain't a
all I'm
culture.
saying is keep it even. You don't meet the same. You don't meet the whole conversation with the same energy of, oh, let's give these hoes some grace because it's the American standard. Don't give him that either. If either we elevate the standard or we not. And that gotta go across the board. That's all I'm saying.
Plenty grace.
You give him something. It ain't grace.
Yes.
Welcome to the Herb and 2 podcast.
Yes.
It is the perfect intersection
Yes.
of intellectual thuggery. This is where we get together and talk about issues that currently impact the black community. We do that from so many different spaces, as you can see already. But we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the page, set the alerts so you can remind us every time we drop something new, and share with at least one person that you think would add value to or find value in this. But just one. We ain't ask for a lot. You know what I mean? We don't want much. Just share with one person. You know what I mean?
We'll hope that person shares with another person, so forth and so
And then it's cracking. We outside now.
1,000+.
You feel me?
Let's go.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Again, this is Herb and 2. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb. His name is 2. 2, what's happening, good brother?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Mm-hmm.
Favored. Look at that. I can't even get that out of my mouth no more.
Favorite.
Pause.
I'm trying. Oh, here you go. You said some shit earlier. I let it slide. Because I didn't want to do that.
Okay.
It's okay.
We good.
But I'm cool, man. How you?
Man, I'm straight, brother. I'm chilling, man. Feeling good. Some things we got to get into, man. We got the good homie in the building. We got family in the building.
What up?
You know what I mean?
What up,
brother?
Y'all tuning in on YouTube. Y'all can see on the screen. If you don't know, that is the one and only Dave Jeff. He of Fly. He of Bulls ambassadorship. He of
You know what I mean?
Center Court at the United Center. He of Hyde Park Festival.
Dave at the United Center?
Hey, man.
Hey,
As
listen.
Tudor said, blessed and highly favored.
He is Chicago's MC of MCs, and as a fellow MC, I have no problem tipping the cap to
Thank
you.
you, brother. Thank you.
You are what it is, my brother. How you feeling, man?
I feel great. Once again, blessed and highly favored, man. I woke up on the right side today. You know what I'm saying?
It beats the alternative.
Beats the alternative, man. But everything is good. For emotion, as I say, for emotion.
Let's keep it pushing, man. Listen, we keep the show off talking about something, but let's get into some of what you got on before we get into some of the topics of the day, man. I'm not a bury the lead type of person. You know what I mean? I get straight to it.
Okay.
If that's cool with you.
Hey, boom.
You know what I mean?
Forward.
As the innovator, as a leader of the culture that I acknowledge you are to be.
Thank you.
Took it to another level. Kicked off the Hyde Park Music Festival. You know what I mean?
Okay, we can get into book. Go,
Now,
go
you
ahead.
tell me.
No,
say. I'm just laying out the intro, and then it's
Yeah, okay, go ahead, boy. I'm gonna jump in.
Kicked off the Hyde Park Music Festival.
I'm gonna jump in, boy. Double dutch. Double
Is it me?
What is called? I'm doing my mumbo.
Turn it fast.
Mambo.
Slow down.
Wait a minute.
This how we go. This how we go. Kicked it off. You know what I mean? Brought the flavor and the brand from 53rd down to Midway. Took it to a different level the next year, and you know, a little bit later, now it's some talks of litigation going on, brother.
Hey,
Some talks of litigation going on. I'm not abreast enough to the facts to speak to it.
okay.
But you are here.
To speak right.
Please, for anybody
For clarity.
from the crib or from wherever who don't know what it was meant to be, how it turned out, and where we are now, the floor is yours, brother. What's happening?
So, okay, for clarity, I was never an owner of the fest, right? When when it was brought to me in my involvement, it was for exactly what I do. I'm a curator of culture.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And the influencer can touch, you know, a lot of different things. I'm a voice to many communities. So that was my value in being brought to the table, right? Now the person that brought me to the table at the time is a great guy.
Sure.
Is a great guy.
Salute.
Does things different than a lot of motherfuckers.
100%.
If you want to call it real, fake, or whatever, you like, brother has his ways, or whatever, and stuff like this. So I just getting right to it. When I was first asked to be a part of it, or whatever like this, he tried to really undercut me on doing me for less than like $1,000 type thing or whatever. Okay. Crazy and true story of it is my mother hit me.
But that's like 10 cent a person that you could bring out?
I mean, no, but I mean, we gotta put things in perspective and time and context too. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
When the first conception or the idea that he had in having it, it was supposed to be like an Oktoberfest. So I think he did one in October or something like that, cut off like one block on 53rd or something like that, maybe further closer down to the liquor store or whatever. And it was one of the, you know, Chicago weather, so it was one of the coldest days of the year. So it was actually literally 10 people there probably. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was that. I think he went back and rethunk the situation on how it could be and wanted to do it more in the summertime or whatever, but still under the understanding of like bringing us in tune with the IPAs and the
Sure.
what would you call it, the curated beer at the
Sure.
time. I
Yeah,
forgot exactly. Craft beer is the
yeah,
exact time at the time or whatever. And so then hence this is when it became Hyde Park Brew Fest. This is why it was
Got it.
Brew Fest,
Got
right?
it.
And so Brew Fest.
Shout out to Moore's Beer, just whack.
Shout out to the guys.
Shout out to Moore's Beer.
Blue can.
White can, blue can, black can.
Gang
Like Wallow, we
cans.
support black business.
Right.
That's kind of what we do.
So that's when it started. So let's put that in the frame of mind. So that's when it was Hyde Park Brew Fest, right? Like I say, boom, brought me to the table. Like, man, I want you to do this. You know, boom, you know, stage. You got your guys. You know what I'm saying? You know, all the DJs. What we want to bear influence and all that type of stuff like that. Yeah, the man tried to give me $1,000, man. Tried to give me $1,000, and this call that this meeting that we're having at the time, someone from the Nike office literally calls my phone, and I purposely put it on speakerphone. So he can
Slight flex.
Slight flex, so he can
Slight flex. Somebody from Nike called me.
So he can hit, no, real talk. So you can have an understanding of the conversation and who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And this was like the height of a lot of going on with Fly, with my brand and all this other stuff like that. And so he got himself together. And so that 1,000 turned into something else or whatever like this. And then so, boom, we got it cracking. The first actual Brew Fest was in this parking lot on 55th, like right across the street from the Hyde Park Neighborhood Club. Okay, so it was the parking lot, then it was the park. And so the parking lot were the vendors, the It was a DJ over there too, but then across in the park was just more of the food and whatever and stuff like that. So
those of you all that's not from Chicago, y'all just gonna have to trust that this matters.
This matters, right? This matters. Okay. This
where
point.
we at matters.
This point, right? Okay. Boom.
No, I'm just saying where we at matters.
Okay. And it probably for that weekend was 2 days. Probably it was 2 days. It was probably about 2,000 people that kind of flowed through there, did that or whatever like that. So once again, I was in charge of like the merch, getting people. I actually connected with Diego Ross. Shout out to D.
Shout out
because
to Diego for sure. Shout out to leaders.
Once again, putting that piece together, I didn't know craft beer. So that's what D. That's what D do or whatever and stuff like that. So that was my job as my man's partner in crime in that part. If he's the business, I'm the culture of it. So I made sure we had all the right pieces. Fast forward, that became an issue quickly because of the neighbors, right? The neighbors by that bank, the park, and all that other stuff like this. And so, okay, boom. Then we were able to move into Harper's Court.
Yep.
This is when Harper's Court was finished. It's the new Harper's Court, or whatever, because it's very different from like when my store was there. Because Harper's Court used to actually be a court for dogs that never came to Hyde Park, or whatever. Then, okay, guys, that shit grew. That kept on growing. You know what I'm saying? Then it got to the point that it grew to where, like, okay, business-wise, y'all got to understand that this is business. Production is production, just like we doing a podcast here. It's production going on. It's things that has to happen. If you ain't never done a podcast or been familiar with production or how you been on TV and do what you do like this, you won't have no idea what goes on or what goes into it unless you know. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all, this being a fest, called a fest, it was really like a block party on steroids. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really why I was even called into it from my fly block parties. My fly block parties had Harper's Court, when it was actual court, full. You know what I'm saying? We had Kanye's, all of the acts out there when they were doing. Your cousin.
That's two man.
when they was doing all that. So I say that was getting tricky in its own part. You know what I'm saying? But once again, when Swain opened up and like really saw that this was going where it was going, budgets was open up, so now it was easier for me to just go through my phone. Hey, Clark, I need you here.
You need to get done.
Clark, I need you here. D, I need you here.
Again, if you're not from the crib, we talking about a major thing. We talking about 20,000 people in the street. We talking about the biggest DJs across the country. We talking about some of the biggest artists across the country. We talking about it's cracking. Just if you're not from the crib.
So once again, my job was I was controlling what the images look like, the branding of it, what it kind of look like, what the sound look like. My whole concept of one mic, one stage. You know what I'm saying? Not having a stage here to have a stage down there, whatever. No, it's a kicking. We together, and it just kept on growing. After Brewfest got so big, and then it was more about what you need is these sponsors. Okay, once again, y'all, if you've never put on an event or produced anything or whatever like this, your sponsorship is very, very important. And so with the name Hyde Park Brew Fest, brew kind of, slimmed it down, narrows it down, and was talking about this, and so you couldn't kind of get really involved with some of your other drinking spirits, other brands and stuff like that, whatever like this.
Or outside of that, I can't get Nickelodeon per se,
because it's brew. It's brew, and we are still doing like it's a family day. It's your kids out here. I mean, as y'all saying, y'all been on 53rd. You've seen people out there with the strollers and all that other stuff like
100%.
that. Okay, boom. The craft beer part kind of disappeared because it wasn't the
sales point.
At the sales point anymore, and it just wasn't as beneficial business-wise to my understanding.
And Miller Lite got the bag. Come on, Miller Lite. We need to throw this thing for the people.
We'll see that. That's a good point. Now keep that here. Keep that
it.
point here.
Put a pin in that.
About going big sponsorship or whatever, opposed to just asking your man for some money. But that's a whole nother thing.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, boom. That grows, and then we changed the name. The name was changed from Brewfest to Summerfest.
Yep.
Okay. Summerfest is growing, and then now, guys, for the last year, I've been asked to talk about this, and I'm glad to be able to say this just because for the was making me want to just speak on it. Once again, not dissing nobody, whatever. This was great lessons in business and everything, and what to do, not to do, whatever. But y'all, the fact of the matter is, it had to move from 53rd.
Mandatory.
2019, it was 20-something thousand people on 53rd.
Easy.
2, it was not safe no more. You know what I'm saying? It was not safe. Now, mind you, once again, we got to put things in context and time and place and all of this. This is when the city getting wild. This is when...
We're talking about a corridor of land, and it's mostly public businesses, right?
It's all public business.
And what's wild about that, even, and we ain't got to go too far into that, is that all these businesses are benefiting from what you did. All of them aren't putting on, though. Most of them aren't putting in to say, hey, y'all done brought 20,000 people to my block. The foot traffic got to be buzzing. Nobody's putting in on that. No, but also this the security of it.
Of it, too. And once again, like I just said, not dissing or shooting at nobody, whatever like this. The event was definitely advantageous for the neighborhood, for the culture.
Ain't no way you could own a business there and it's not advantageous.
Right. It was beautiful for everybody. But I'm just saying, when I just saw a certain... which one just came out in the Hyde Park Herald
article.
An article just came out in the Hyde Park Herald, to where one of the later partners who was an investor or whatever like this was this is construction guy. Okay. Shout out to Nosa, Boy Construction or whatever, was going at a thing. So their Nosa and Swain's thing going public, whatever. It was in the Hyde Park. The Herald. And so in that, I guess that article itself was forwarded so many times, whatever. And then so I get to looking at the comments.
It's a topic of conversation.
Look at the comments, looking at the comments.
What the people saying?
And so one, I'm here.
And they want to hear from Dave on Herbert Two Show.
I want to hear from him, right, on this part, because when people want to be like they, because people want to be like they. And so me being the face of it, what I like this, I'm they, and they didn't have nothing to do with bad business.
Facts.
They was the microphone. They was getting people here, there, whatever like this. I'm in the boat with a lot of people that ain't been paid this, that, and the other. They.
Time
you know
out.
What I'm saying? Go ahead.
If I may. You can't be the face of the franchise and duck the they.
And this is why I'm here.
Okay, come on.
This is why I'm here, but me being but me being the face in the franchise too. Dave Jeff is good all over, and that's
everybody know you for real.
So we're gonna be clear on it or whatever when it comes down to ownership of things in that, because I've been approached in the street from said security companies, a camera person, or this, that, and the other, and I have to be like, hey, slow down. Did you talk to me? Is that LLC? I don't have nothing to do with this, that, and the other. Did you catch a deal with me or whatever and stuff like that or whatever? So, but to your point of ducking, not ducking, just being very clear. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know. I didn't say you were ducking.
But
I'm just saying.
Right. Just.
I'm just saying why it's coming to you.
Yeah. Just being very clear, and I'm just saying I'm speaking on it today just because it's out. It's so out and it's done, and so reading the comments and the people saying that no, they were just being greedy and this, that, and the other. And why did it have to be a thing to where it had to be ticketed now and this, that, and the other? Y'all, world, everybody, listeners to the Herb 2 Show, whatever like this, no way in the world that it could have happened again on 53rd. Something would have happened. We were blessed and fortunate to the point that all that those 9 years that I was on 53rd, that we didn't have any instances like that, and it was black love and it was this, that, and the other. But if we would have tried to run that back again the next year in that time, and it was 20-something thousand people. Yeah,
maybe we got one more year away. Maybe whatever. But eventually,
But once again, I definitely voted against that heavily, or whatever like this, especially me being the face of the thing, and a lot of people thinking that this is my fest. Yeah. Okay, so for that clarity, that was not my fest in ownership and everything, but as being a brand, me as being the culture, being that's what that was.
Love that.
Moving to Hyde Park Summer Fest, and then being a ticketed event, right? Because me and said partner or said person weren't really on the same page for years and understanding, and why, just for clarity, right? Two, you know me well enough. I'm a businessman, right? So I know my value, I know my thing. Definitely brought that to the point. Probably need a contract. I need some equity in this. I need ownership in this because this is what I'm doing. The conversation was, no, we can't do that because I'm putting up all the money. So I said, Hold on. Okay, well, have you heard of sweat equity? Have you heard of I put it in a scenario as being a married man, right? Married man having children, okay? Anybody married and you have children that you two-parent household or whatever, I'll just say that in thing, and then you guys are raising a baby together, right? The fest was our baby, okay? You go home to your wife who feeds the kids, takes care of the bills, does all these things, keeps everything running.
Makes the house run.
Make the house what it is and everything like this for the baby. And then she does that for 9 years, or he, or whoever, whatever the role you want to say, gender shit, you know what I'm saying, does it, or whatever. And then you're like, okay, but on Monday, now everything is 50-50. Tell me how that's going to go. Tell me how that's going to go, that now she does all that and has been doing all of this and whatever. So now everything that she's been doing don't have no value. But now you want her to pay, I guess, what you feel she owe to make it bigger. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. How that's going to go. Tell me how that's going to go. So it's not well. That's not going to be a good conversation. So that was my example to him in it. And he got it together and came back and was like, okay, I feel you. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Then COVID hits, right? So now COVID hits, and this is not top of mind. We didn't do it for 2 years or whatever because of safety. This is this, that, and the other. And so in these things, I'm going to just say people are living, people moving or whatever like this. I think he attempted a political career, all these other things. But once again, not being in tune or being on the same page as your so-called partner or whatever, I wouldn't have never went and got money from my man because we're big enough now to her. This is proof of concept of we can gather people. We can have good vibe. It's good music. It is what it is. The Hyde Park, this is a thing for the summertime or whatever. No, we should have took that to Coke. We should have took that to Miller. We should have took that to Pepsi. We should have took it to Complex or something like this for the money, for the structure, for the team, for the whatever, because at the end of the day, we're still learning how to do fest or block parties or whatever and stuff like that, especially at a ticketed major amount and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I think that without my involvement, I wouldn't say that it wouldn't have never got there because it's a dope concept. You know what I'm saying? It is
all that. I'll say that. Okay. I've been chilling, listening.
Okay.
I know all y'all.
Okay.
I've had several conversations with all y'all in passing or whatever over the time period of what's happening with this and what's happening with that. Until this moment, I did not know that you didn't have equity from jump.
Gotcha.
Right? And what I guess at some levels, this bothers me about the context of black business in general. Right? We minimize, we disproportionately minimize value. Right? Again, like I said, I know all y'all. Without you, none of this happens.
Thank you.
None of it happens.
Thank you.
Right? So much so that even without knowing that part of the business, and just from the conversations I've had with all y'all separately.
Okay.
Right? It's the Dave Jeff Fest.
Okay.
It just is.
Well,
right?
okay, but in saying that, some people ain't cool with that being.
But that's
whatever.
That's our flaw of business. That's our failure in business, right? And
exactly.
I know we're talking to, it's a local conversation, but we're talking to a national audience.
Exactly.
Right? For context, Hyde Park is probably the heart of the Black South Side.
Exactly.
Right? Or at least the center of the Black South Side.
Yep.
Right? Specifically for young culture.
Yep.
Right? 53rd Street is the center. It's the main valve.
It's 125th Street.
Right? So even when we was talking about moving it, because we had y'all on the show before y'all moved it.
Right.
Right? And I was like, man, don't move it. Because it means something to me. It's cultural to be on 53rd.
Exactly.
Right? It's a character in the play.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That bothers me because without your involvement, you can't grow that product in that way because it is your cultural capital that gets us out there.
Exactly.
I know those other guys, right?
Exactly.
Now, we both know we have cultural capital in the city. Which gives us tentacles and leeway to know all kind of people.
And rooms
but if you don't have that kind of movement, most people don't know you.
Yeah.
Those other two guys, don't nobody know them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got some capital.
Yeah.
But don't nobody know them.
Yeah.
Right? You couldn't put their face on the banner and say, hey, come to my party. Nobody's interested.
The city. I mean, that group of people would, and black professionals, whatever, because they're very, astute in those places. Yeah. But I'm just saying, right.
So I fully get that. But the problem is how we value us and how we do business. Right. Again, I get the investment, the capital investment. You know what I mean?
So, but let me finish. So, in that pop and not being on the same page or whatever caused Swain to do things that I just wouldn't have done, which now you in the situation you probably in now. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, just once again, not bash him. It was just in that whole piece, pop. Him and his things. I have kept Swain safe in a lot of things because I am the culture of it. Like, not to say the street, because I'm, you know what I'm saying, I don't play in the street no more, or nothing like that, but I'm just saying in places. And sometimes he be getting into this thing, and you just see a lot of shit pop or whatever. He told me when we finally had a conversation about him connecting with Nosa or whatever, Nosa not gonna want to talk to you because you ain't put up no money. I said, what? Now, the space we was in, I said, I'm gonna go on the leave because, Swan, me and I don't want another Dave to come out, but in another space, I would definitely hit you in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? For saying some shit like you don't want to talk to me. He wouldn't want to talk to me because of what? He didn't want to talk to me because you ain't presented is what it was. So that was that. When I first get to meet Nosa, and me and Nosa hit it off. It was cool. Was everything. And had a real conversation.
For me, the larger point is, man, nobody wins when the family feuds.
When nobody wins when the family feuds.
Right. So this summer, I got a niece, man. My niece is probably like 30, 31. Transplant to the city, but she's living a 31-year-old life. So she was like, man, Uncle Two, I'm going to this festival, She was showing me, and it was all the 31-year-olds in the city was at this festival, right? And it's something, I think it's called Lovers and Friends. No, it ain't even Lovers and Friends.
No. What is it, E?
Everyday people.
So shit. Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Salute to them, but that bothered the fuck out of me. Right? Because we are, if people don't know, in the summer, Chicago is Miami. Chicago, the best city in America.
Chicago is Chicago in the summer.
Right? It ain't
Miami
nothing
can't
like
fuck
this
with
city
Chicago summertime shot.
And we're a festival city. Right? And the Brew Fest, the House Picnic.
All that.
Like, we can go down the line. It's probably like 10 festivals over the summer that you have to be at. Right? And that pretty much supplements my summer fun. I ain't got to go nowhere else but them festivals.
Summertime shots is on.
Right? It's
can't fuck with
thing.
And they all were local. It was all local people making money. You know what I mean? Some of them festivals probably supplemented most people's yearly income.
Facts.
Right? I know that for a fact. You know what I mean? And that's industry. That's viable. That's black business. It supports a lot of stuff. So when you get whatever the name of that other festival is, this a franchise that comes in, it's pirating. They come in, they take your money, they leave. It's not circular.
No reinvestment.
Nobody here gets money out of it.
But in that point, saying that, I'm just saying, and being on both sides and seeing, once again, behind the curtain, the veil or whatever and stuff like this, we don't support ourselves, though. In a lot. Okay, yeah, they come out, but, okay, at the fest, people are upset about said ticket prices, but you got a million or two in talent that y'all watching. You got to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? Fencing, security, everything or whatever definitely has a cost or whatever. And I'm definitely not saying like, everybody should just be ready to just lay down $200 or whatever and stuff like this. But I'm saying a lot of us want something for free. Or it's like, oh, no, I know too, so I need to get in. Herb is my man, so I'm here with her. I'm on Herb list. I'm on Herb list instead of whatever supporting, but also not doing the technology of things because you have pre-sale tickets for $39, and then people want to be like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. But then it's a thing. So I hear what you're saying, but I'm just saying it from both sides of it. So I'm in closing to this, Pop, just so we just not just on that or whatever. With the whole thing is I learned a lot in that situation with business. My value in my like you said, social currency and things like that in more ways than one. How, what to do, what not to do. You know what I'm saying? In things, and to always go with your first mind and stand on your shit. And that's what I got in the spiritual sense too. Clear every day. Focus on your shit. And so that's what I'm on.
So a few things I wanna get into, and I don't want to shut it down immediately.
Okay, go ahead.
It is something that I want to get to as well as it pertains to that. But number one, I want to say this as a show, and I don't usually speak for two because we don't usually agree. But just as a pod,
He's learning though.
as a pod, as an entity, we're not taking sides, right? Mm-hmm. You are my motherfucking brother. None but love for you. I also got none but love for Swain.
Yeah, it's love over there too.
Right,
I got none but love for Swain.
No, and then for clarity, I got love for Swain.
I know that.
I honestly haven't had a conversation with that man. Listen, no,
right.
real talk in real time. I haven't had a conversation with that man since summer of 2023. So
that's sad.
What is that's not on me.
I ain't saying
that's
on nobody. I'm saying it's sad.
But that's you dipping, disappearing, feeling like you whatever and stuff like this.
That's
whatever. That's real. I haven't had a conversation with that man since summer of 2023. Since I got whatever money that I had coming from the year before at the end of 23 in that thing, and was given a check, a wire, or something like that, whatever, in the communication and getting said funds.
Yeah.
Haven't had a conversation with that man since.
That's very sad. Like
Nobody wins when a family feud.
Exactly. That's very sad as a Chicagoan, as a member of the culture, and as a person who has legitimate personal relationships with both of y'all. That's just sad.
Yeah.
But Swain been on this show too. Swain has been on this platform too, and it's open to you, right? If you ever want to, speak, however you want to speak about it. I just wanted to say that. The other thing I wanted to get to was year one, right? Year one, to me, this is her speaking now. I ain't speaking for the pod or two or nobody else. That shit cracked. She was busting, right?
On 55th.
It was a great I open this show every day and say this is the perfect intersection of intellect and thuggery, right? Because we think those two things matter, and they need to meet somewhere. And I thought year one had that intersection.
Okay.
I thought it had the intersection of that 53rd Street energy, that Chicago shit.
But
that you know what I mean?
Right.
It felt, you could feel that.
Right.
You could feel that in a real way, but also it felt elevated.
Right.
It was like, God damn, all this, look at us type shit.
Yeah.
And then, if I'm being very honest with you, second year felt like, who is us?
Who was us?
Who is us? Fuck you, me, us. It didn't feel, like it felt like another level of this elevation, but at the expense of losing this Chicago connection of who is us.
Okay. And because 55th was more quaint, park, barbecue type stuff, niggas chilling, drinking together, almost picnic type. Year one. Year two, like you're saying, this is when it got to 53rd.
No, I'm talking about the first year on Midway Places.
Oh man, you talking about Summer Fest?
Oh, okay.
You talking about down the line.
You talking about down the line?
Pardon me, I'm not being clear.
Okay, but I'm talking about what?
I'm talking about the 2 years of Summer Fest.
When it was an actual fest and it was ticketed.
When it was ticketed,
right?
First year still felt connected,
right,
to its origins.
Okay, so
second year didn't necessarily feel that way. I'm not gonna hold you, Pop.
So in that, once again, this whole thing, and thank you too, and everybody on it is feeling like, okay, this wouldn't happen without me, but definitely the team, the staff of it was really on point, and everybody loved what you saying, that family thing, this is a bigger thing, or whatever. That was year one, right? But after, things went down, a slow payment here, this, that, and the other.
Business.
My hands is, off here, or we got to do this, or now certain people are in control of this because they feel that they, got to stand on this or whatever like this. It was definitely different. Definitely different.
Yeah.
Definitely different. Believe that. It was a lot of forced things.
You can feel that. You can feel it, and I think that had an impact on the overall experience.
Right. No,
and I would be hard pressed to believe it didn't have an impact on the bottom line.
And her, I was hands up emoji on a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just call me when the meeting is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Here's the larger context for me though, y'all.
Okay.
Like, and this ain't even just about Chicago or the festivals or nothing, but as black people, what we bring to America is culture.
Let's coach.
Right? and it's one of the largest exports from America. So our culture permeates the rest of the goddamn natural world. But white people own all of our culture, which is why I argue we don't have a culture. Because it's this shit that we can't seemingly get together. Which is absolutely my problem about that goddamn paint by the numbers fest that comes in and leaves town. They come in, they take all our fucking money, using our leverages, our names, our access, all that shit. Then they go back to wherever they came the fuck from with all our goddamn money.
Put it on the road.
Right? So we're never in a position to grow and become what we should grow and become. We can't control things, right? And for me, although I feel the same way her feels in regards to like the second year of the festival, the music festival, right?
Summer Fest.
But my problem is, day one, where we say, I put up the bread, we only gonna pay you like talent. The corruption starts there.
Man.
Right? And I know them and love them niggas at the table, but therein lies the problem.
We're not good enough.
Right? There's a disconnect between capital and creativity. I'm a creative. Most of my life, I've lived outside the lens of creativity because I got to get money. So I've actually learned
from creativity
because I know it's easier to make money painting by the numbers.
Right.
Right? But I'm more creative and a better artist than 99% of niggas in this city.
Come on.
Right? But my goal is speed, not greatness. Though I know I'm greater and better.
But that's everybody. That's the youth and people in survival mode. So in survival mode, you can't be as creative. You can't maximize your creativity.
But the argument I'm having is that this shit always becomes circular if we don't never lay a flag down.
Right.
And all we got to do to lay a flag down is get the fuck out our ego. Easy. That's all we got to do.
Easy.
Right? So 20,000 people, and even to the 20,000 people, conceptually, right? You like, we got to support. We got to support. One, there is a level of education that we got to have too, right? So a marketing exec taught me this very long time ago, which is kind of how I move, right? When we were younger, we had the red eye newspapers that you could get for free out the red boxes. He said if you put a dime cost on that tomorrow, nobody will pick that shit up because they've been conditioned
to believe it's free.
To believe it's free, right? They've been conditioned to believe it's free. Now, free ain't necessarily a bad business model.
It's not.
Right? That is the Coca-Cola, Sprite. Hey, we do this for free, but you finna pay.
Right.
You finna pay for my access.
Right.
Right? But because those same corporations don't necessarily outright fuck with us, we got to prove concept.
Right.
Other people don't.
Right.
Their names would carry the weight to say, give me this money.
Right.
Right? So you got to spend $2-3 million to prove to them you worth $2-3 million. Right? And it becomes a circular conversation. Most people can't get to the $2-3 million.
Right. So what happens when you have Brewfest on 53rd and there's access point from any street you choose? It's like, hey, you should contribute to this because this is us. This is us doing dope shit. And then motherfuckers like, it's optional. It's a contribution. It's a donation.
It's a donation.
I'm good. I'm straight.
You straight. You wouldn't donate.
No, I'm saying that's what happens.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what happens. That's completely fucking wrong. It's fucked up.
Right.
Well, I've hosted many shows with phenomenal talent. The Just Niches of the world, the Emerald Greens, the K Loves, like phenomenal talent.
Right.
And I've told people, when this show is over, you tell me what it's worth to you and pay that.
Right.
Right. Now you go see a show that got the name, like the likes of the people I just named. This is all one show.
Right.
I would think that would be valuable, right?
Yeah.
And some people just leave. And some people think it's a $10 show. No, it's a $10 show to go see them? 3?
No, but I think to Two's point is how we've been conditioned.
I'm agreeing.
In the thing, so
that's how people walk past the. That's how people walk past the fest.
Exactly.
But I'm saying no. I don't think that's cool at all.
Right.
But I'm saying that's what happens. Just to reiterate what he's saying, like, you know what I mean? Just to piggyback off that, like that's just some fucked up shit.
Right.
But I also think that we kind of, in the mission to get to whatever the fuck we think the next level is, sometimes the price might be our identity.
Our identity?
Yeah. that Chicago identity that sets the fucking tone for all the culture around the world. It's like, I must get outside of this and bring something like, no, let people feel this Chicago shit.
Chicago shit. I mean, and just because I'm close with like Chosen Few, Terry and everybody and stuff like this.
Chosen Few, shout out to all of them.
I know went through the same thing too. From when it being free, they been like $40
that shit had
to
50 people there.
$50, $100, whatever like this. But look at your whole day, Pop. Look at everything that goes through on that day or whatever. But I love they model of it because they allow you to come and do you. You know what I'm saying? Which cuts down on I think to Tu's point on how you move and pay and support inside or whatever and stuff like this. Like, nah, I'm in here. I'm gonna buy this little space and I can do whatever the fuck I want to do in this space. I can cook, smoke. We can rub on each other. Whatever you want to do in this little tent.
I ain't talking about the price. I believe you. I believe you and all of the designers, creators, all the proprietors of Summerfest deserve to reap y'all's investment plus at least
all
double.
All of that.
You know what I mean? I believe that.
And then I'll say that.
Pop, I'm talking about the.
I think that was the goal. I don't think Swain did whatever he's done in whatever or being claimed to do or whatever, and he did it with malice. I don't believe it.
I don't think he's a malicious person.
Was it misunderstandings? Or maybe. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I don't know that. Is Nosa right for standing on what he's stood on and all that other stuff like that? Hell yeah, because I've given. And I was supposed to be promised this back or whatever in that. But once again, that's business too in it. But real niggas don't disappear from they thing. They don't not return calls. They don't disappear. They don't not talk to a nigga for 2 years or whatever like this. Or you see him and you go to the opposite direction because you don't want to have that conversation. I'm just saying.
Stand in front of it.
I'm just saying.
Stand in front of it.
And so if I would say that was what was done incorrectly or whatever like that, that's what Swain should have got in front of that or whatever and stuff like this. Because now him not getting in front of it, he got everything coming to him that's going to come to him.
Yep.
Whatever, legal, this, whatever, backlash, your name, this, Chicago only this big, bro.
The equity is real. The love is real.
Yeah.
And so people, like, we all make mistakes, man. We do shit. Me and Tootin started this fucking show over 4 or 5 times, and though each time we feel like it's gotten better, just the fact of starting over has probably been to our detriment.
And under the Business Act, it's the niggas whose chest I want to kick in today.
Boom.
Right?
Come on.
But to that point.
Come on.
To that point, right? I still want to kick your fucking chest in.
Okay.
And he walks the other way when he sees me.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know who that is. But okay.
Mace Jackson.
Okay.
I ain't ducking no smoke. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Right? But that's my flaw too. Right? Because I knew who the nigga was before I stepped into the room. Right? Now here's my problem.
Okay.
Right? He isn't of us. Never has been. Never was. He had the equity at the time. I devalued myself because he had the equity at the fucking time. Mm-hmm. Right? But at our essence, he ain't of us. Mm-hmm. It's a conversation we had before we walked in the fucking room. Mm-hmm. He is not of us. Mm-hmm. But because of that conversation of creative and business, you jump on the bandwagon of the equity because you think you need that. To her's point is that Chicago shit, we are good enough.
Mm-hmm. We are.
We are good enough.
We are.
And we gotta all believe that.
We are.
You know what I mean? And we got to stand on that. So I'm still standing on nobody wins with the family feuds. And when I look around the scope, because I do think Chicago's the best city in the fucking world, but in the summer, it's the best city in the fucking universe.
Man, you can't fuck with it.
Can't fuck with it.
It's the best experience you can have on this fucking planet.
I think outside people don't realize that we have a big ass lake that's like some people
the largest
think it's an ocean. If you really don't know, it's a lake. Like I'm just saying, but you get that.
Yeah, people think it's an ocean.
You get that.
I saw it on a podcast recently. Somebody thought it was ocean.
You get that West Coast feeling, the ocean feeling, or whatever, that Miami feeling.
It's the largest waterfront stretch outside of South Beach.
Yeah.
Other than South Beach, it's the second largest waterfront stretch in the country.
But when I look at the capital gains, though, right? When I look at the new festivals that's coming in, when I look at the city itself stealing our shit, because the city itself steals black festivals and takes them down to Grant Park.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And we go down and support that shit.
Look at the fucking Taste of Chicago and how that was when we go back 20 years ago. Taste to the Taste today.
Yeah.
Where did the Taste start?
I don't know where the fuck it started, but I know it used to be a million motherfucking people in Grant Park,
Right.
and that shit used to bust.
Right.
And it's not like that no
Remember
more.
the little plastic cups, but yeah, but go ahead. yeah.
But again, right? We was having a conversation before the cameras came on.
1980s when it started, and it was busting though.
But we was having a conversation before the cameras came on. Like I'm a data guy, I'm a politics guy, I'm a serious guy, right? Black people make money in government because we're not in private industry.
True.
We got a government right now that's snatching money away from black people. If we're not in private industry and they snatching money away from government,
What does that leave
where the
us?
fuck do we land? So when we put ourselves in position to utilize what we have to offer the country, which is culture, you motherfuckers can't stop eating this shit. We have to find ways to not give it away. We have to.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
That's the side that I line up on.
Facts.
And I'm in full agreement with you. And the only thing I would add to the Maze piece is that I get the capital conversation, and because I was the one advocating for us to actually link up with that, you mentioned that as an opportunity, but because I was advocating for us to actually do it, it wasn't a capital thing to me. It just made so much fucking sense to me, and it still makes so much fucking sense to me if it was done right.
I agree to it, so I can put that on your back.
You talking about the likes of like us. It was Brian Foster, like it was us. It was In the Zone. It was the Bigs. It was who else was on? It was fucking Mike Love and the Diz. It was fucking everybody.
Damn, Mike Love and the Diz.
It just our big little sister, right, or our little big sister, however she phrases it, right? Like everybody was fucking there. It just made sense. It was just led in a selfish way. That's why I thought it made a ton of sense.
Sense though. And I told you that day one, but I still agreed. So I ain't putting that on you. I knew who the nigga was before we walked in the door, and we was having them conversations.
Yeah, no,
and everything
you're right.
that I said, the nigga did in the duration.
100%, you was correct.
Even with all that foul shit, I kept pushing.
100%
Because
you
I
was
believed
correct.
in the concept, right?
100% you was correct.
But therein lies the flaw, right? You can't get healthy out of sickness. Can't.
No, you 100%, man.
You know what I mean?
And
what I'm asking of us is that let's get healthy, y'all.
Yeah, let's get healthy. Let's
In a real way.
support each other. Like so people. Pop, I'm telling you, I get the conversation every other day. You know what I'm saying? My phone rang a million zillion times, especially after that article dropped. You know what I'm saying? And then or whatever, like, damn, you know, boom, boom, boom. Like I even had have a conversation with Nosa early in the morning, you know, too, or whatever. And so we had our conversation about, you know, but we had before. In the situation when my man just goes ghost, okay, well, we're going to do this anyway. So hence when you were saying Hyde Park Music Festival.
Summer Fest, I'm sorry.
Because Hyde Park Music Festival was something, an entity that NOSA was starting or whatever and stuff like this, that I will have equity.
Yeah, I misspoke.
That we have, you know, did that. But once again, even as that goes and whatever's going on and whatever and stuff like this, so my point is focusing on what I got going on, focusing on what I got in hand or whatever. And so this started with a Fly Block Party, so this is what I'm working on right now, securing the real estate that I need to do for a Fly Block Party. And I don't want it to be no big dumbass whatever and stuff like this. I'm not saying I want it to be 53rd 2019. I'm not saying I'm not saying I don't want it like
Why not?
like that, but I'm saying
Get it busted.
But I'm saying that same vibe, that one stage, one mic, us hanging out, people, food, fashion, vendors and stuff like that. So that's definitely in play. And so even if I can't get what the vision is today or whatever like this, I'm gonna shut off a block and do that just so it can grow. Right.
Well, we want to be involved in that, man.
Okay.
And again, to her's point, man, we good enough. You know.
We are good enough. All of us.
Because we on, what'd you say, on Bury the Lead or Duck the Smoke? Year 2, I was mad in the motherfucker.
For the Summer Fest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was disappointed in the motherfucker. And it wasn't about what happened, the culture. I was disappointed in the context of we committed to a concept with the program, and the price was the price. Mm-hmm. But then, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard rumors. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's clear them up.
That there was like hundreds of tickets given away in Boys Town to increase or, you know, fuel a different demographic to come and show up. But that's the shit I mean when I say we good enough. right? The Asians got Chinatown because they don't give a fuck about what you're doing with your dollar outside of that.
Well, Pop, I'm saying, and I'm sure if you talk to Swain, because even in our conversations way before, whatever, and stuff like this, Swain had the vision of like, okay, I'm gonna make this one fest or something like this, and have all of this or whatever, and all that other stuff like that. Like I feel the moon, I feel going for the moon, but let's stay on the blocks for a while. Let's stay on the blocks for a while, build it, and be correctly in it. Because what I learned in this part, what I've learned, I don't give a fuck who you book, who you book. You cannot base your success off like, okay, I'm gonna book Jay-Z today, and I think 30,000 motherfuckers gonna come because I have Jay-Z, and then I'm counting my ticket money. Right. No, you that's ass backwards.
Motherfuckers ass backwards. Doing or they don't.
Ass backwards, right? I mean, it's a lot. It's right.
What's the biggest black festival in America?
Essence.
Essence. I was thinking that too, right? Yeah. Who the fuck shows up to Essence?
Everybody.
Yeah, but us.
Yeah, us.
That's just
right.
They don't cater to shit else.
They don't cater to shit else.
But I think never play Essence.
But Pop, to Essence whole thing though is rooted and grounded in this black thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they stayed there and grew the black thing, and just got involved with the right people to support the black thing.
See, but my argument
that's your point.
That's all of America, though. We the only motherfuckers that's confused. There is no multicultural thing. That shit don't even exist. We talk about it like it's real. It ain't real.
Everybody want to spread
out. It ain't real.
The
Asians fuck with the Asians. Right? But the whites fuck with the whites.
The Latinos fuck with the Latinos.
No. And totally.
And we try to fuck with everybody.
We try to fuck with everybody.
And totally that, Pop. I mean, I think we just want to see this bigger picture of Kumbaya. You feel what I'm saying? Like me
too. I just want Kumbaya between 63rd and 64.
Reach out to us.
I don't give a fuck about nothing.
Kumbaya. But no, and so I mean, and I say that too for the you said this from 6:30.
It's all about.
Reach out to us.
That's funny, Pop. But I'm saying like me growing up in Hyde Park, right? So me seeing all the different levels of it, and seeing the rich white professor, then the poor white boy, to okay, my house look better than yours, you know, whatever, and seeing the different levels of it, Asian and everything like this. So I really don't even look at it like that, and just think like, okay, we all should be able to kick it in Hyde Park. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like I had my white boys was listening to hip hop. I'm skating and doing all this, you know, skateboarding and all that other stuff like that. I'm just saying was my world in a lot. And the blocks, and the guys, and Drexel. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
Shout out to the Drexel boys.
And the Drexel side and all that other stuff like this. So I think this is where I'm well-rounded in the whole thing, but I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of cool white people jam.
And they'll get... All right.
Yeah.
So Dinnertime is a thing we like to do here on the Herb and Two podcast. It is you sitting down to have dinner with two figures from any point throughout history, dead or alive, right? One of these two figures must represent that of an intellect, the other that of a thug, as you define those terms. Not as anybody else defines them, as you define them. Dead or alive, any point through history, you haven't done it with two people, one intellect, one thug, for a particular purpose. Who would those people be, and why?
Like the purpose should be like creating a new Hyde Park Summer Fest.
So you and Swain sit down with
Larry and Jeff, and we gonna get
Wow. Damn, that's deep, Pop. That's deep. Like damn, Pop. Like, I would like to sit down with Jesus, but I mean, but like
anybody throughout history, dead or alive,
I would love,
real or imagined.
Okay, I would love to sit down with Jesus, and really just get the clearest understanding of creation. You know what I'm saying? A purpose or whatever, as he sees it, in that as being the Son and sitting at the right hand of the Father. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thuggery.
Jesus could also be the thug. Just
No. I
Just
mean, Jesus could be the whole conversation. I ain't really got to sit with nobody else. But I mean, I'm just saying for the sake of dinner time.
Yeah.
On Herb and 2.
Yeah, shout out to Bum J for the dinner time title.
Man, pop on the Thuggery side, like I mean. Honestly, too, I mean, and I might get backlash for this, but I mean, okay, I would like to sit down with Trump or Orange Ass and get some understanding of his understanding. Because I mean, my thing on dude is like he's wild in so many ways. I don't necessarily just think he's the most racist motherfucker. I think he's more so classist in it. But I'll be wanting to just, why did you think of that? What you know what I'm saying? And what's your bigger picture? Like, he just intrigues me in some ways in the things that he does. Not necessarily bad everything. Like, sometimes you just be like, nigga, shut up. Like, well, you doing too much. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Jay say the whole industry could have me out thug my way through it. I think Trump is a good pick for the thug at dinner time.
I think he's doing that. I'm sure that's a whole nother episode or whatever and stuff like this, because I really think what he on right now is that whole let's destroy everything and then build it back up, and I did it.
Yeah.
And it helps me.
Yeah.
In all my businesses and all my homies. I just really think that's what he on right now.
The good thing is he has that much gumption. He does not have that much intelligence. You got enough gumption to break it. You don't have enough intelligence to build it. And in that, I find an opportunity for the us's of the world.
The us's of the world, exactly.
I like that.
Say chaos is a ladder, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But in this moment, for us to climb the ladder, we got to have an understanding of us.
Facts.
Right? That's what this shit is about. All this shit is about. What jersey are you wearing?
Yep.
Right?
Facts.
Yep.
That's it. Us.
Yep. How do we identify?
Well, we gotta really go down and deep to us though.
Who the fuck are we?
Like for real. Like my us might not be exactly your us too.
I agree.
And I'm saying that. And I'm saying
that's the obstacle at least.
And I'm saying that to say like, okay, when you say like us, you mean like we need to get back to the roots of it and all that. I think so too.
I mean,
my
Black American
is, I don't even give a fuck. We can make it up tomorrow.
What?
We just agree to it. Whatever us is.
Whatever the us is.
Whatever the us is. We can make that shit up tomorrow, but let's stand on it.
I think that's what I admire and respect about the LGBTQ movement.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And plus, you just a member. You gotta
salute. Yeah. Fuck you.
I mean, you ain't in front for us.
Whatever.
We know you, dog.
But it's okay, too. It's okay, Herb.
Okay. All right. I'm outside. All right. Yeah, I'm outside.
No,
right on.
It's good. Real niggas wear pink.
Either way, what I love about what we're doing is that we continue to make space for people. We continue to make room.
I love how you keep saying we. I fuck with that, boy.
I did it. Yep. We continue to make space for people. We allow for this ever-evolving thing that says, hey, you ain't got no crib? You come stay with us. And all it does is enrich and enlarge our crib, right? Whereas as black people, what we do is find reasons to kick niggas out.
Okay.
You can't live here no more.
So when you were saying us, you were saying the LBG. That's why you were saying, okay, bro,
hey,
got you.
I'm just trying to make my brother feel comfortable. No,
and I'm not being funny. I'm just trying to, for clarity, what you mean, and understand what you say.
The LGBTQ
the point
community.
Of their openness. The point of the openness.
Yeah, the LGBTQ community, what they've done is make room.
Right.
And every time they find an opportunity to add on another group or another demographic, they do so.
Right.
To their benefit.
Right.
Whereas we like,
I don't know if I see it like that.
Oh, they do that shit. So, nigga, I don't even know how many letters it is no more. They got numbers and exclamations and
hear what I'm saying when I say
hieroglyphics
that. And hear what I say when I say that though. When I don't see it that way, right? This goes back to what we always stand on, the Neely Fuller quote, right?
Yeah.
So you fully understand white supremacy, what it is and how it works. Everything you think you understand will only confuse you, right? For me, the only motherfuckers who allow everybody in their group is black Americans.
Agreed.
We're the only people to say everybody's welcome. There is think about this shit. We have monikers in our community where we say shit like we not a monolith.
Sure.
Bullshit. We the most monolithic motherfuckers on American soil.
Whether we know it or not.
Whether we know it or not, we the most monolithic motherfuckers on American soil, right? Now, the standard of LGBTQ is you have to fit in the confines of LGBTQT.
Or we'll add another fucking letter.
Sure, but every letter we add is part of the homosexual community. You could be any color you want. Hear what I'm saying.
All right, come on.
Hear what I'm saying. You could be anything, but you got to stand on we're different sexually, right? Now, when I say that they stand on that shit, they got private investment groups that you can't get in unless you put your penis in somebody's booty.
Two.
No, these are the standards. No, these are the rules. Look,
And I don't want you to get off point.
Let me finish. I'm not playing though.
Go ahead.
I know, but you're on point. I don't want you to get off point.
Let me point.
What they do well is the end game. We all want this end result. So no, we don't all put nothing in booties. No, we don't all.
To be treated
we want
equally.
this end game. And if you want this end game, you with us. And what I'm saying is the opposite of how we move as black people. What I'm saying is we should be on the same shit. Do you want this end game? If you want this end game, then that's cool. If you want this end game about equality or liberation, let's say liberation. Let us do us. If we want the same end game of liberation, uninterrupted, uninterfered, don't fuck with us, give us liberation. Autonomy to do us. If that's what you want as end game for black people, then you are welcome. I don't care if you suck dick. I don't care if you fucking trans. I don't care if you broke. I don't care if you rich. I don't care if you rap. I don't care if you government. If you are a black person that wants this end game, you're welcome. And I'm saying that's what the LGBT community does. They don't identify around how they have sex or who they love. That's not their identification. Freedom. Is what is the intersection point. Freedom. Let us do us. Leave us the fuck alone. Let us do us.
That's why I disagree.
Okay.
Right, and that's where the point comes into play about what is us, right? For me, the end game, even in that group, is power, and that's why I say it's not invitable to everybody. It's exclusive to everybody who ain't in the conversation of power.
Liberation is about power. It's about conversation. Right. I agree with you.
It's only a conversation of power.
That's just words. I agree with you. Power, liberation. I agree with you.
But to the point of all how we think, we don't look. They're looking for group power. Now, I'd argue that there's some nuances in what they even consider group, right? We don't. We look for personal successes.
Gotcha.
It ain't group shit.
And if you don't look and think like me,
the terminology
you are
is
not welcome.
monolith. When in reality, 63rd and King Drive, which the world knows as O Block, is down the street from $1 million houses. You monolithic than a motherfucker.
And that's what I'm saying about that community.
Twice.
They're very monolithic, G. Even though they aren't the same. But they're very monolithic on the end game. That power game.
Yeah.
That power game. That game that has everybody afraid to say this word, this thought, that thought, say anything that might be.
Say, hey, white man, come to the concert and say nigga.
Right.
Yeah. Eminem was the best rapper.
I never said that.
You said it.
I've never said that. Anyway, we gotta go, man.
You and Ryan, you both said it.
That's cap. I never said that. But okay, I'm not gonna argue against just lies.
I appreciate y'all having me here, man, or whatever. I'm gonna say much love to Swain.
Yeah, love to all. Nosa too, man.
Much love to my brother Nosa, Oriel, the whole team, everybody, G Baby, Scylla, everybody that Manuel, everybody or whatever in the thing that built something very beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That built something beautiful. Unfortunately, it ended how it ended, but there are.
It's gonna birth something different.
Don't have to be the end.
Or bring back something old. Bring back something old, and that's my thing once again with the Fly Block Party, because that's really kind of where all that started with that gathering.
We want to be involved, G. Whatever it is.
And we gonna do it then.
Right.
Where can the people keep up with the one and only culture setter, influencer, fly creator?
At Dave Jeff, DAVEJE double F. That's it.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
That is Dave Jeff. That is 2. I am Herb. Shout out to P for doing all the hard work behind the camera. Shout out to E for being the greatest momager, manager, producer.
E, that's Era's sister.
Nerve wrecker that she could possibly be. We love y'all. Please, thanks for tuning in. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe, and share with at least one person.
Yeah.
For 2, special thanks to Dave for sliding through. Appreciate you, Pop, for real.
Man, appreciate y'all for having me.
Going crazy, man.
But should be able to say that, like y'all. Pop. I'm telling you, I've been not really wanting to say whatever and all that stuff, but I just wanted it to play out how it played out. like that. And so I knew I could have a real conversation with it, whatever, and just not to be like, oh, no, I'm not doing none of that. Just to be clear.
Yeah.
Just so we clear. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we do here, man. It's home. It's home to the family. It's home to the family. Let's come through. Let's chop it up. Let's get on the same page.
Yeah.
Let's move forward.
Everybody else must pay though.
Oh, everybody must pay.
I want clarity. Right? That's when you said it's us.
I said to the family.
No. I'm speaking in general terms.
Yeah.
This is what this is, right? And this is what we stand on. Back to how we create culture.
Yeah.
This is the culture of Chicago.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And we standing on that.
Yeah.
And we're going to sell this shit to the rest of y'all.
Yes.
That's the goal of every black business that starts here. It should be.
Yes.
My brother said it better than I can say it, man. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.
Peace.
Salam alaikum.
All is truly wet. Yes.
Don't let it. Oh shit, I'm in the wrong seat.
No, I wanted you to intro him.
When you punched me, I realized I was in the wrong seat. Hi!
Jazz fingers!
Y'all still ain't
We're back!
Shout out to all you dirtbags, man. Appreciate y'all checking in on this Patreon exclusive edition of Herb and 2. Listen, man, most of y'all have at this point probably seen Sinners, the movie. Shout out to Ryan Coogler. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan. Shout out to everybody that was in it. I shouldn't even name them because there was so many people in it that was super, super dope. We want to chop it up, man. So we're going to spend, maybe half hour or so just chopping it up about what the movie was, what we thought it meant, some of the innuendos that were within it. And 2, did you like the movie?
It's a great movie. I'm laughing at myself, right?
Okay.
Because before you said, shout out to Ryan Coogler, shout out to Michael B. Jordan, I was in here in my head like, what's the motherfuckers' names?
That's why I'm here.
Like, I'm bad with names in movies. I'm bad with niggas that's in real life.
Period.
I was in my head like, what's his name?
Listen, it happens all the time. I'm bad with it in life, but I was like, the movie, at least I remember that. It happens, it'd be so much. Me and E was at a barbecue like a couple weeks ago. This lady came up to me like we grew up together for, I swear to God. She grabbed me like, hey, I'm like,
she was standing face to face.
what else can I do? Like,
I do the same shit. I don't know nobody.
I'm like, hey. As soon as she walked away, he said, you don't know her, do you? I was like, not at all.
I have no idea who that was.
I have no idea. I'd be like, what up? I'm nice. I don't know that motherfucker.
Oh, it was terrible. We got to be better.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sinners. I don't. It was. I'll be honest. I told y'all in the chat. I didn't really have any real desire to see the movie.
Right.
Nothing against Ryan Coogler, or Michael B. Jordan. None of them. I just vampires, spirits. That's not really my bag on movie shit. But I did go see it. Great movie.
Man, I had every desire to see it. I told somebody, I don't think I went to the show since maybe Juice. Like, I don't go to the show.
Did they call the show there, or was it the fucking drive-in? Like, I swear to God.
At the film.
Like,
Right, at the film. At the picture show.
At the picture show.
I was at the picture show. Like, I ain't no big movie dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I definitely ain't watching shit that ain't all black. I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? My kids be laughing at me like, even when we watch movies at the crib, like, we're not watching no slave shit no more, Daddy. That's the only shit I really watch. Because that's the only shit that is all black people.
I don't like slave
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they overdo it.
It's the only shows that's got all black people. So other than that, I ain't really fucking with it. But when I saw this, I was like, immediately I wanted to see it. And I knew it wasn't about vampires.
Right.
Like, even from the little clips, I could see the innuendo. I was like, oh, this is deeper than that. And from a standpoint of a horror flick, after seeing it, it wasn't a horror flick.
No, it wasn't.
In my mind.
It was horrific. It was horrific.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Right.
What y'all mean?
Horrific. No, I mean as far as like all the innuendos and things and the messages. The,
Oh,
the
real black
sucking.
life.
It depicted
Yeah.
the horrible experience
Sucking
of
the
Black
life.
Americans for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Real
that's
shit.
what I
It was
mean.
a movie about black identity. You ask me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I fuck with it, man. From the opening scene to the closing scene, right? And even when they closed the scene down, and then it came back with the
The middle credit and then the end
then the
credit.
ending storyline. And shout out to the Kugler for including Chicago in the conversation, right? Chicago is the capital of blues, always has been.
Salute to Buddy
Buddy
Guy.
Guy. that
Buddy
was
Guy
dope.
was in it, right? But for people who don't know, today, even in Chicago right now, if you go to like 22nd and Michigan, there's something called the Blues Museum, essentially.
Yeah.
But it's really the original office of Chess Records, where all blues records came from, pretty much.
That was Music Row right there.
It was,
Yeah.
right? But that museum still stands today.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful garden.
Right,
there,
it's been made into a museum, but it was actually it would have been Def Jam of that era.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So them including Buddy Guy, salute to them for including Buddy Guy. You still got Buddy Guy still has his club down there.
Yeah.
Right, the Wild
And
Band.
Chicago is still the epicenter of blues.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? And we were just having a conversation a minute ago with another guest, and we were just talking about the imprint black people have had on American culture. And American culture kind of streams through its music, if we're being honest, right? And we've invented all original versions of American music.
Facts. Which was a phenomenal scene in the movie. Perhaps, definitely one of my favorite, definitely like top 3, but maybe the best scene in the movie. When they went,
That was one of my favorite ones too. Like when they switched and changed
All the different times.
to show you the different times. But that was dope.
It depicted the Good Times painting, or I forget the real name.
Yeah.
that was
Good
dope.
times.
That was
Ernie
dope.
Barnes painting.
Yeah.
That was super, super fly how they went, blues and the soul, R&B, rock, twerking. They had the Crips, the Bloods in there. Like, they shout out to them for that. That was
All the
fire.
way back to tribal. And,
Yeah.
you
Yep,
know,
tribal, yep.
From the crux. And even, we laugh and twerking, or even footwork for that matter.
Yep.
You can really relate that all the way back to Africa.
All of it go.
Yeah, it still goes back. So that's dope.
I loved it. I actually, the thing that made me want to see it, oddly enough, was when I learned that it was a vampire movie, right? Because I don't typically like movies that are about oppression or
Sure.
slave type stuff. Unfortunately, that is our history, so I get it.
Right.
So I felt like it being a vampire movie would make it more digestible
Added a different
for me,
layer.
right?
Yeah.
But then when we actually watched it when we was traveling in Louisiana, me, my daughter,
Oh, is that where y'all were?
and my friend and her daughter. So it made for like really good conversation after with them and with us. But it was a point in the movie when the vampire stuff was happening where I would have left the theater. I told my friend, like, if you would have been like, let's go, it's too much, I would have left too. But I'm glad that I stayed because it was like so much more than that,
And also, that was kind of late in the movie. Like,
Yeah,
relatively
like 45
speaking.
minutes in,
Yeah,
I
that
would
was a
say.
little bit later in the movie where they introduced that. It wasn't like this gory, vampire, blood-sucking, neck-biting movie
But it
from
was
the jump.
important though that it was vampire.
Name of the movie? What's the name of the movie that doesn't start the vampire stuff until the end? The most popular one.
Dust to Dawn.
Dust to Dawn. So it was kind of like, I think it kind of went on to that track. Like it.
I
Didn't
saw a lot of people comparing the two.
I heard that too, but I don't see that at all.
I don't either.
I don't
From
think Ryan
actual
Coogler
seeing the
said
movie,
it.
I don't even see where they would. Only thing you can compare to that is the
When they
vampires
start the
and the
vampires,
lateness of them coming at the end of the,
But that's interesting. Before we turned the cameras on, me and Herb was having a conversation that said this is the only conversation that happens in black life. And Herb said so many people can't see it. Right? We only tend to see what's apropos in our face, and the story is in between the lines. It's the nuance
Right.
that really tells the story.
That ties it all together, yeah.
Can we do this? Since you're talking about this now, can we talk about what we think the message of the movie is? And I feel like you're going into that anyway, but let's touch on that. Let's talk through that.
For me, the umbrella message of the movie was
Yeah.
really understanding black identity, also in understanding the flaws of how we leverage black identity. I don't know if everybody caught the part about the flaws of how we leverage black identity.
Yeah.
So, Scene, and this goes back to true history too, right? Smoke and Stack have got the club. They're making a little bit of bread. Smoke is the more capitalist brother. Give me my money, right? And there's people coming into the club with wooden nickels. Most people don't even know this. that was a real form of currency on plantations. That's what the conversation is. You
Wood
work
nickel.
this as a wood and nickel, right? And Smoke was like, fuck that shit. I want real money, right?
U.S. currency.
U.S. currency, right? Well, Stack was like, man, fuck that shit, man. These people having a good time. Let them come in
They
and
work the
spend.
fields all day.
Let them work
They've
the
been
fields
working
all day. Let's let them
enjoy
appreciate
themselves.
what we bringing to them. Back to the conversation we were just having a minute ago about us embracing us,
Come on.
right? It has to be something bigger than just the dollar, right?
Ooh.
The imprint of the vampires
When they
coming
tried to
into
save
the
'em.
club, the imprint of the vampires coming into the club was about greed, right? Because the first decision was, nah, we just don't fuck what y'all doing, beat it, right? Then Smoke said, well, he was convinced that maybe it's some money out there.
But he was convinced
He was
by
convinced by the white devil. That maybe it's some money out there, right? And they went out there, and that's what opened up the door to all of the ills. You have to let the evil in for it to affect you. If you close the door, it don't affect you.
How about the natives, the engines, as they were referred to in the film?
I kept saying, what's an engine?
That's how
how
white folks said
I said, what
Indians.
the heck is an engine?
And not even natives wasn't even a thing. But let's talk about how the natives learned their lesson, applied it to the movie, tried to share it with decent white folk.
You ain't want to hit? All right, die.
You're like, we gotta go, bro.
We out, bro.
Say, hey, you got a wild motherfucker in your crib. We need to deal with that right
Right
now.
now. Before this